Good afternoon. Yeah. Welcome to the Black Studies Open University. This is the spring event series of the Abolition Democracy Fellows Program of the Black Studies Collaboratory, housed in the Department of African American Studies here at UC Berkeley. Today's program, The Unheard, Black, Deaf, and the Arts, has been curated by Abolition Democracy Artist Fellow Antoine Hunter, with support from Zana Simon. And if you can believe it, this is the second to last of our 9-event series. My name is Lee Rayford. I am a professor of African American Studies, and along with Dr. Tiana S. Pichel, I am co-director of the Black Studies Collaboratory. The BSc is a 3-year initiative to explore and amplify the world-building work of Black Studies. We are supported by the Andrew Mellon Foundation's Just Futures initiative, and you can find out more about our work at our website, blackstudiescollab.berkeley.edu. We are here at the Berkeley Art Museum at the threshold of UC Berkeley campus and, the city of Berkeley, sited on the territory of the Huchun, the ancestral and unceded land of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone, the successors of the historic and sovereign Verona Band of Alameda County. We recognize that every member of the Berkeley community, both town and gown, has and continues to benefit from the use and occupation of this land since the institution's founding in 1868. Beyond verbal acknowledgement, we urge the payment of Shumee land tax, a material way for non-Indigenous people living in the East Bay to participate in the rematriation of land to Indigenous people. And you can find out more about Shumee through the Saugere Land Trust. So Antoine Hunter has curated a full and exciting event for us. Please note that our interpretation team is working on multiple and different registers today. They are doing incredible work to bring us all into communication, and this takes time. We hope that you will all accept the invitation to a different rhythm than you may be used to. We appreciate your patience, your understanding, and your willingness to listen with all of your senses, to borrow from our panelist, B. Dancer. Before I introduce Antoine Hunter, I want to thank the beautiful collective of people who've made today and this series possible. Thank you to the fantastic staff here at Berkeley Art Museum Pacific Film Archive, to BSc Project Manager Barbara Montano, always this for Barbara, to BSc Graduate Student Assistants Francesca Araujo and Alexandra Gassese. Alexandra, can you wave? There you go. To the Department of African American Studies. Thank you to our incredible interpretation team for today. And I'm going to ask that folks, the interpreters, just acknowledge, make sure that folks know who you are. Cheyenne Atkins, Rodney LeBon, Kat Ridley, to my left, Alina Duncan, Ryan Gale, Aaron Sanders Sigmund, Alberto Madero, Naomi Nieves Driver, and Sierra Pickett. I want to thank the Andrew Mellon Foundation. I want to thank our panelists for today. Foxx, Fred Beam, Ashlea Hayes, Brandy Mimms, who are all here in the theater with us, and Michelle Banks joining us on Zoom. Thank you for making the time to share your talents with us today. We want to thank the ancestors who are with us always, and we want to thank you for joining us today. I especially want to thank Abolition Democracy Artist Fellow Antoine Hunter for bringing all their expertise, their humor and talent, and this incredible roster of artists to so thoughtfully curate today's event. Antoine, your presence in the Collaboratory this year has given us new language to our conceptualizations of Black study. You've helped us envision more just ways of being in community, and you remind us to always hold space for joy and imagination. Thank you for trusting the BSC this year. Oakland native Antoine Hunter, aka Purple Firecrow, is an award-winning, internationally known African-American, indigenous, deaf, disabled choreographer, dancer, actor, instructor, speaker, producer, and deaf advocate. He creates opportunities for disabled, deaf, and hearing artists, produces deaf-friendly events, and is founder of the Urban Jazz Dance Company and the Bay Area International Deaf Dance Festival. Antoine is the recipient of many awards, and Antoine's work has been performed globally, as well as he's lectured across the U.S. I also just want to mention that Antoine's shoe company, Drop Labs, and Susan Paley released an innovative haptic product to help people feel music. Hunter is also the founder of #DeafWoke, an online talk show that amplifies BIPOC, deaf, and disabled stories as a force for cultural change. Last thing, the program will end at 2:30. Promptly at 2:30, we will have to leave the theater at 2:30, but we invite you all to continue the conversation in the atrium just outside of the theater. And with that, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Antoine Hunter.
Give it up, give it up. Thank you. Can everyone see me okay? Awesome. Can you also hear me okay? Good, because I can't. So that's good for you if you can hear or can see me. I would like to introduce myself in a deaf way. If you wouldn't mind all copying me, do your hand like this. The letter A. Bring it down and shake it just like that. And that's me. My name is Antoine Hunter, or Purple Firecrow. I am really honored to be here today. And also, I saw you sign my name, not bad. I think it's a really important time for us to know the people who are on this earth, especially the Black people, but also Black deaf people. When you look at me, you see a Black person. If you don't see me signing, you would just think I'm just your typical Black person. But I'll let you know a little bit more about me. So, yep, that's me. But maybe you didn't know. I'm African. I'm disabled. I'm two-spirited. I'm a human being, and I love it. I'm smart and beautiful. I'm sure you can say that. Yeah, we'll give applause to that. But you're also beautiful as well. I didn't always look like this, but I am from the Bay Area, Oakland. I was kind of executing that picture though. I was raised in a house with 11 women. Yeah, so my mom was a single mother, and she's made me who I am today. And everything I do is a reflection of her love, her education. She never kept me in the house locked up, which meant a lot, and it allowed me to be the free person I am now. Sometimes I'll ask my mom, what do you think I'll be when I grow up? She said, you'll be my son, and I'll love you. And that love was a really powerful thing to help me survive. And you all might have a different perspective of love, right? Love usually helps us open our mind, spirit, but also our inner self. Society has this old-fashioned way of thinking that everyone is the same. But we're not. We're not all the same. If you see that person there in the middle, they might have glasses, they might have afros or mohawks. Of course you all know that. But society's norms is not something that we all can fit. So how many of you here already know how to sign? Raise a hand, show of hands. Okay, I see several. I know some deaf people that know signs, some deaf people that don't, some hearing people that know signs, and some that don't as well. So curious, what is the sign for fear? Can you demonstrate that? Okay. Thank you. All right, copy me. Like this. Fear. Next, what is the sign for understanding? Like this. Just like a light bulb was going off up there. Understanding. Next, which sign feels more relaxed? Fear or understanding? Understanding, right? Now, which sign looks a little bit more intense? Fear. Correct. So, in my perspective, that's something that we oftentimes, when we're feeling stressed or when we don't understand something, it causes our body and mind to feel that intense, stressful feeling and fear. But that's until we start the understanding process and we start to feel lighter and softer and more comfortable and able to move. So I'm hopeful that today you all will be able to understand a new culture and also maybe a new you as well. And so while you're all here, I invite you to listen to different ways of not just understanding with your eyes or your ears, but also understand with your heart. So many people say, hearing impaired. Wait, let's back it up. First of all, we're talking about deaf people. And I'm a reader, so I'm going to go ahead and read up what's here on this slide. What is deaf? To deaf or not to deaf? With yell. What about the word deaf? Often it means a person who can't hear. Deaf, is that a proper name to call a person who can't hear? Deaf with a small d or deaf with a big D? Generally, the small d, deaf, does not associate with members of the deaf community. They may strive to identify themselves as hearing persons regarding, one sec for the interpreter, regarding their hearing loss solely in medical terms. In contrast, big D deaf people identify themselves as culturally deaf and have a strong deaf identity. All right. Hearing impaired and hard of hearing. Hearing people may use the term hearing impaired, perhaps thinking it's more polite than deaf, but deaf people tend to reject it for a variety of reasons. It is more likely to be used for people with a mild or moderate hearing loss and for people who have acquired deafness in adulthood rather than those who have grown up deaf. The term hard of hearing is preferred over hearing impaired within the American deaf community and is accepted as a neutral term without negative or pathological connotations with no implications about age or onset. Let's hold on for interpreter to finish. It generally refers to people who depend primarily on a spoken language for communication or who have mild or moderate hearing loss. An ASL term hard of hearing exists and is roughly equivalent to the English term. Deprecated terms deaf mute and deaf and dumb. Various terms once used to refer to deaf are no longer used and may be viewed either as out of date or an insult, such as deaf mute and deaf and dumb. The word dumb had meant speechless for centuries in English before it gained the sense of stupid as a secondary meaning in the 19th century. But since stupid has now become the primary meaning, even though the term is still widely understood in the secondary meaning, in a particular expression, the term is now unsuitable to refer to deaf people. All right. So what is the problem? And it's not us. Deaf people have a culture. It's not us being bipolar or being with TBI, having PTSD or Down syndrome, or people might even consider us X-Men with powers. But that part is not a problem at all. And why did I bring that up? Many of these people, these X-Men, had disabilities. Look at Professor X. He was a wheelchair user. Cyclops, as you can see, he has the yellow band over his eyes because he had low vision or was part of the low and blind community. Phoenix, you can see with the green and yellow chest. Oftentimes you'll see her pass out or have seizures during random times of excitement. But she was a very strong person. But also people really loved the person you see with the brown suit on. It's Wolverine. Most people love Wolverine. But Wolverine also experienced PTSD, triggers from their past experience that they've had. And one of the most valuable members of the X-Men team. And without him, you couldn't really have the X-Men, but they all worked together and learned to listen to each other, listen to their needs, what they were. And so we're all superheroes here, just like that here on Earth. We get to learn about your powers and learn how we can coexist amongst each other and remove those barriers that we have that exist. Okay, can we do that? So I've been looking for my people. I'm a dancer, but I couldn't find anyone. Where is my X-Men team? So I started training, and I started teaching people movement like I experienced movement. But not only with dancing, but also as a musician. I started teaching them how I felt and responded to music. And that became my job and my responsibility. And this is where I created my X-Men team with the Urban Jazz Dance Company. And oftentimes when you can't find your people, there's different ways that you can find them by giving support and allowing them to listen in a different way. So remember I said I grew up with 11 women in my household. And many people know that women tend to lead the world, right? Women are strong. I'm alive in here today because of Black women. So women in general are important. All right, I'll try to summarize this slide here. but we're going to talk about BASL, Black ASL history. It started in the 1800s when schools were desegregated, and it created a new generation of Black deaf students and deaf signers that went to a segregated school. There is a number of different facial variations and signs that are used in the opposition to ASL. As you can see here on the slide, what is that sign? What does the sign mean? What do you think that means? No. What about the mainstream ASL sign? What does that mean? Do you know the difference? Come on. See some answers from the audience. Okay. Lousy? Okay. All right. Or, ooh. That's bad. Okay. No? So a Black person says, oh, no, not that, nah. You see, that has a lot more facial expression and differences there. That ASL, you'll see someone say, I'm sorry. Now, Black ASL, yo, my bad, bro. I'm sorry, my bad. So there's a difference. All right, because of time, I'm going to have to skip through a few slides. But the irony here in America, when it comes to languages in general, they try to take it away. And that is something that we try to fight for within Black arts and Black deaf arts as well. We are trying to survive within this world, but we can't get there when we are having our language removed and taken from us. When it comes to signs, especially ASL, it's dope. We need to continue our existence. And by taking away our language, ceases the opportunity to happen with communication. You're taking that away from us. You're taking away our existence. And you can't survive. And we can't survive with our culture without our language. So I hope that you're able to see our culture and language today. Oh, and by the way, we have to teach the next generation as well. Next generation of children to keep it up. We can't just think of the folks from yesterday. We have to think of the folks of the future too. So really, it's a big honor to introduce you to our panelists that we have this afternoon. All Black deaf artists that will be introduced to the stage. Now this queen here, Ashlea, was born in the capital of California and came here to share with you her story. She's a stag, and she's been in performance all her life. Performing and storytelling is her knack. She's a Black deaf person here to show her culture and also share her experience with you as a Black deaf blind person. She's removes barriers and is fearless, and she has a big passion. And I don't want to keep talking too much about her, but I'd like to introduce Ashlea to the stage. Ashlea Hayes.
Hello, how are you doing? All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Antoine. I just want to let you know that I am a deafblind individual. Just let you know that I can see the audience though. I can see all of you. You may think I can't see, but I can make eye contact with each and every one of you. I see the audience. I can't see everyone in the back, unfortunately. I can't see in my peripheral, or my sighted is very limited. So that's why I use a cane to navigate. So my presentation today will be related to my journey as a deafblind individual. The feelings that I felt, the emotions that I feel, and also now I'm gonna express myself in a way about my journey, how I navigate using the cane, using the interpreter. I don't depend on these individuals. They support me, they support my journey, they support my efforts. So if you see any barriers, don't pity me, don't feel bad for me. Why you feel bad for me? What you gonna do? Okay, it's nothing to be fixed. It's nothing to be fixed. It's something to be recognized. It's something to become normalized and to make it so that no one else has to struggle with what I go through. So join me on my journey of using my cane, okay? Thank you so much. Hold on one second for me. You can go ahead now.
I am walking out in the rain, and I am listening to the low moan of the dial tone again, and I am getting nowhere with you, and I can't let it go, and I can't get through. I am the old woman out in the rain, and I am listening to the low moan of the dial tone again, and I am listening through the air shaft, nowhere with you, and I can't let it go. Long our swan song can last in both hands. Please use both hands. No, don't close your eyes. And the old woman behind the pink curtains and the closed door body on the first floor. Story of she's listening through the air shaft to see how long her swan song can last in both hands. Please use both hands. No, don't close your eyes. I am writing graffiti on your body. I am drawing the story of how hard we tried. How hard we tried. I am walking out in the rain, and I am listening to the low moan of the dial tone again, and I am getting nowhere with you, and I can't let it go, and I can't get.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Next, we have Brandy, Unique, the deaf dancer, Mimms. She was born and raised in New Orleans. And she founded her dance company called Listen With Your Eyes Dance Troupe, and resides currently in Bryant, Arkansas. She's always had a passion for dancing, and at a young age, even though she had limited hearing, she didn't allow her passion for dancing to stop her. She's a choreographer as well, an American College Dance Association in 2017. And she also was a member of
She's also a member of the performed at the Bay Area International Deaf Dance Festival in 2017 and 2019. So instead of going on myself, I'll go ahead and allow Brandy to come on and perform for us.
Talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say,
bites your bones and gets in your heart. It can make you feel hopeless, and fear will come to steal your sun and make it dark. But don't believe you're lonely. We've all had that moment when our shoulders sink and we sit back and think we could just run. But we're not born to chase the fading light. We're not born to fall and lose the fight. Never letting go. I'm asking you to lift me higher than I ever been. Hold your breath and say you're gonna come with me. We were born to follow the light that never fails.
So what is dance for me? You know, is it just dancing just for show, or do I live it? Do I breathe it? Dance has saved my life. I grew up in the hearing world, and my parents didn't allow me to sign. They refused to learn sign. They would talk and talk and talk, and you know, I thought I was supposed to be hearing. I thought I was supposed to be talking too. And some people would pick on me. And I would think, well, I look different? What? Oh, okay, you're deaf dumb. You can't do anything. So what am I supposed to do? Oh, you know what? I can, okay? Because I'm deaf and dumb. All right. I didn't know, and I just kept going and going and going, and I graduated high school, and I found myself searching for something I wanted to learn. And so I went to college, and I thought, okay, there's cheer. I've never cheered before. I think I want to do that. And so I went for it. I did all of that for a few years. And then later, about 2005, I had my first son, and then Hurricane Katrina swept through Louisiana, destroyed everything. I lost everything. And then I started thinking, what am I going to do now? Because I've lost everything. Okay, well, I guess now I'll go back to school for dance. I was still figuring out who I was. And dancing as a deaf person, I thought, okay, well, I'm alone. I might get bullied. I've been teased. But then I saw Antoine dancing, and he helped me to find myself. And he mentored me, And now I'm free. And I know who I am because of that. Thank you.
Whew. I'm sorry. All right. Harold Eugene Catron Jr., best known by their stage name, Harold Foxx with 2 X's, is a filmmaker, an actor, comedian, but just happens to be deaf. He was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and attended university in Washington, D.C. Currently resides in Los Angeles, California. He's performed at Busboys and Poets, at the National Black Deaf Advocates Conference, and also the Theater of Notes in Hollywood. He's also been involved with NAD and various other films as well. He's performed on stage at To Speak, and also been involved with autism. He's currently working on films all over, currently been involved in films and travel all over the world. And he's a king and tireless and never stops working. So now he's here to show you some of his real art. And I'm sure you will find his work fascinating. So please welcome Mr. Harold Foxx.
What's up, man? What's up, everybody? Y'all good? Yeah? All right. I love to see beautiful people here. Everybody here, that's right. Love you all. All right. So what's on the agenda? All right, so I'm gonna keep it real simple and sweet, all right? So I'm well known as a stand-up comedian, right? I know some people will go like, wait, but you deaf, like, how do you do that? Well, I mean, we still deal with people that go, well, how do you do that? How do you do this? I mean, child, please, man, we can do everything you hearing people can do, all right? Okay, so come on, man, please. Like, you see my sister right there? She know what I'm talking about, right? That's right. I love you, girl. So really, like, I've been involved in a lot of stand-up comedy, writing, producing, directing, like you name it. My accolades go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, right? And I see in the industry, there's very limited deaf people with professions. They always say, no. Well, I'm gonna be the next deaf Tyler Perry. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Watch me. Man, listen, cut it out over there. So let me just take it back a little bit. Have you ever seen a deaf person applaud and then like before the joke comes out? So that's a beautiful thing too, but that's what's happening right now. So you see this right here? I performed up in the stand-up comedy in a Flappers comedy club in Burbank, California, right? I mean, a lot of famous people go there, like you name it, and then they invited me, right? So that's a big honor right there all in itself. Like, I'm proud. You see me again. I mean, there's only one thing about that picture. That's a bad hat, right? That's a bad hat, huh? I don't have a fashion stylist like that at that time, you know. But I performed stand-up comedy in the Laugh Factory. I mean, you could just name it. Like Richard Pryor was there. He blessed the stage. Y'all remember that man, right? Like, come on. I just want to make sure I'm not just name dropping and there's a lot of young people here and not, you know, you don't know the material, right? So we have Red Foxx. Like that's the person, that's my role model. Yes, I'm old school too, right? You know it. Yeah, that's me again. And that's my 1 hour comedy show in Detroit, Michigan, right? And then that person was like, oh, I want you to perform for an hour, right? I want raw. So I get the curse, I got to wild out. I mean, rated R. There was no kids allowed, right? So, no, that was a bad idea. No, it wasn't a good thing. You see this? I'm not only in just comedy, right? I'm also on stage in Def West in LA, in California. I'm also in theater role, right? This is me acting. I know I do a lot, I know. Sometimes I feel exhausted, but hey, this is my passion, right? And I love to do what I do, right? This is what it is. Love you all. New York City, that's right. I was involved in Off-Way producing, Off-Way Broadway show. That's a big thing, just in case y'all didn't know. Tyler Perry, you better watch out soon, letting you know. So like I said, you know, in Broadway, I was involved in the Broadway show in New York. And not only that, and I also was hired to do a lot of consultation, right? Consulting for movies out here in LA. And recently, you know the movie Creed 3, right? Creed 3? Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one that was consulting for post-production. Yeah, that was me. So, moving on. All right, before I go ahead, so this is my stand-up piece right here video that I chose. It's about 6 minutes. I'll let you watch it and enjoy it, but I want you guys to know, right? When I do stand-up comedy, it's not easy, right? Because comedy is all about timing, right? And people go, how do you do that? How do you do that? And of course, I have my own personal voice interpreter that we've been working together for, I say, 4 to 5 years. So we have that eye contact, that pause. You know, when people are laughing, right? You gotta have that pause. It's a natural pause. But a deaf person, how do we do that, right? It takes a lot of work and rehearsing to become that top player, right? So like I told people, when you wanna be a top stand-up comedy, you gotta have to go through some booze first before you get to that main one, right? And that's how you're just gonna improve and elevate. That's how you're gonna do. So that's all I've been doing, all my grind, and now I'm here, and I'm still traveling the world for stand-up comedy, okay? I ain't done. I'm not done. And I'll work on my hour stand-up comedy in San Francisco someday, in Oakland, I hope, right? Right, Antoine? All right. Are we ready to watch this little clip? Wait, hold on, let's take it back. There's some language, so just a disclaimer. So if you guys go to church on Sunday, it's okay. I'm just letting you know, all right? I love you too. Love you too. Right? We good? Can I play? Yeah? I don't know. Yep.
Coming
okay,
from,
good.
it's right in the front row. Jonathan's right here with me. It's not the voice of God, I promise. If you believe it's God, you need to stop smoking. You need to stop smoking now. So let me clarify some things. We've got a fundraiser going on tonight, right? This is not a strip club. I don't need any dollar bills thrown in my direction. But please donate to DCRC, yes? You know, I have some people who complain and they'll say, you know, that comedian is definitely not deaf. There's no way that he's deaf. Since when are you a doctor? I am deaf. I'm so damn deaf that I've got a deaf accent. It's that bad. I remember one time I was dating this girl, and this was a few years ago, right? And she brought me home to meet her father. And you know, of course, you know, it's the dad. And I gotta be there and make that great first impression. So I decided to use my voice and introduce myself directly. Hi! The father looked at me and said, "Did you call me an asshole?" I was like, whoa, no, I'm deaf. It's just the accent, Now, let's talk for a second about Tom Brady. You all know who Tom Brady is, right? Everybody knows Tom. Yeah. You know, he just announced his second retirement from football. His second retirement. My big problem with Tom Brady right now, frankly, is that he announced his retirement on February 1st. Why the hell did he announce it on the first day of Black History Month? Who the hell does that? That man should have waited until, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day. I mean, Giselle would have absolutely loved that one. Now, I gotta tell you, right? I love to smoke. That's the first thing that you need to know about me. I mean, it's California shit, right? That's who I am. I mean, 70% of you are probably high right now, right? But one thing, I don't get high around Siri anymore. No, never. Again, you know, I'm deaf, right? And I'm high as fuck. I'm just sitting there smoking, coughing my high up, talking to my weed, and then, you know, I start thinking, you know, I'm gonna talk, and I've got this deaf accent, and you know, come on, Jonathan, speak in deaf accent for me. You heard it. That's a deaf accent. So I said, Siri, and I started talking to Siri and wait for it to, you know, tell me what I said. And it says, I don't understand you, I'm listening. So I thought, well, let me try it again. So I start speaking at the phone again, and let me, you know, trying to see what Siri says. You know what she said? She said, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. I'm not sure if Siri is racist or if my deaf accent is really that bad. You know, I tried the same shit with Alexa too. You all remember Alexa, right? Who's still using Alexa? Who's still using that shit? Oh yeah, you. I see you. I did the same shit with Alexa. I hollered out, "Hey Alexa!" I'm still waiting for that bitch to respond. You won't guess what happened next. All of a sudden, I hear pounding on my door. I mean, literally, someone's about to knock the damn door down. I open the door, and it's the police. That wasn't Alexa I was talking to. That bitch was Karen. You know, there was an article I ran into recently. I was just doing some light reading, and it was like the American Cardiology Association or something, and they were talking about weed, right? And they said that they had evidence that if you smoke daily, if you're a daily smoker, right, like me, you know, I'm a two-handed smoker, right? My hands stay turned. But the point is that every day, apparently, if you read, you can or smoke, you can get heart disease. I'm like, the last time I checked, Snoop and Willie Nelson are still smoking. And they still got 120 over 80 blood pressure. They're normal. My time is up, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to talk with you. Don't forget to donate tonight. Don't be selfish. Have a good one.
Just want to check the vibe out real quick. Okay. All right. So like I said in the show, my time is up. My piece is up. And I want to thank you all. I love you. I'm out.
Let's give it up one more time. Next, we have Michelle Banks. Michelle Banks is a native of Washington, D.C. She's an award-winning writer and actress. She's a co-founder of and artistic director for VOCA, which stands for Visionaries of the Creative Arts. What else has Michelle done? She's also been involved in a few productions: Girlfriends, Soul Food, Compensation, the CA Lions Project, Camellia for Camille, and also recently had a show called Isms, and also involved in a few festivals as well. This queen had just finished a music production. Sorry, the correction interpreter. Just finished The Music Man. Let's all welcome Michelle.
Hey, everyone. Thank you, Anton, for that beautiful introduction. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can see me here. I'm sorry I cannot be here. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now. My organization, VOCA, is here, so I'm sorry I cannot be there in person. Dang it. But I have other commitments, so I had to be here. And right after this panel, I have something to go to. So I just want to say that I'm happy to join this beautiful group of fabulous, talented Black deaf artists here. It is just beautiful. You know, presentations, performances that were prior to this were just amazing. Thank you. And again, my name is Michelle Banks. This is my name sign on my chin. And I've been worn different hats, taken different roles. I've been an actor, a writer, a director, a creator, a DASL, Director of Artistic Sign Language, an instructor, a motivational speaker. So now I'm working with, my role right now is the Artistic Director of Visionaries of the Creative Arts. VOCA, VOCA. So you might be curious about what VOCA is, and it's based here, as I said, in Washington, D.C., and we were founded in 2019, and that was right before the pandemic. So realize, as we founded this company, I'm going to talk about a little background and history of that. So Gallaudet University asked me to direct a play called A Raisin in the Sun. You know that show, by Lorraine Hansberry. That's a well-known play, and she's a well-known Black writer. So it's about a Black family who is really struggling at the time, and they have the American dream in mind. They want to succeed. So Gallaudet University asked me to direct this play with Gallaudet students and staff and the community, and I thought, sure, why not? And so then I thought about it, and I brought in my friend named Nate Paxton. There's a hearing person, and really experienced, really skilled as a voicing actor and in the deaf community. So I brought them in so we could work together. And so I pulled in deaf students, deaf staff, some people from in and outside of the community, and we were ready. I was ready to direct this show. Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful creation. And then I realized, wait a minute. There's so much talent. Why are these people overlooked? Why is nobody recognizing them? And so my friend Nate said to me, we should do something. Nate said we should do something right here in Washington, D.C. And that's my hometown. And I thought, why don't we give something back to the community? And I said to myself, I really have to do something for my community, especially for deaf BIPOC community members. And so Nate told me that I have to go ahead and found something. I have to start something myself. So I thought, I'm going to get myself a theater company. And it's going to be deaf, BIPOC, hard of hearing as well, artists who can really show their skill and their talent on stage as well as behind stage. And so I was excited. I said, yes, let me work on doing this. So then VOCA came to be. Visionaries of the Creative Arts. And so that's been for 4 years or so. It's been hard work, but I feel like that we're successful. And it's been going pretty well so far. And so during COVID, let me back up just a bit. We were supposed to do another play, do the same play, A Raisin in the Sun, again, but at the professional level. And so that we pulled in people, but what happened is it was 2020, everything shut down because of COVID. And so we had to put everything on pause during that time. So I was just trying to figure out how we were going to proceed with it. How are we going to continue our activities? How are we going to continue our work? And how are we going to continue that connection to the community? So we sat down with panels and we decided what we need. We have need work opportunities for Black deaf people, for BIPOC performers. And so we had a good panel. So Antoine was there on the panel. Fred was there on the piano, on the panel. So we proceeded with this discussion. And in 2021 was the first time that we had a successful live production on stage, ISM. You will see a little 1-minute video about that when we bring that up later. So ISM, you might be curious, isms. It's called isms. And so it's about police abuse, about death, about racism in the system, about systemic oppression, about Black Lives Matter, about that movement, and all of those different factors. And there's so many things that are there that we are called isms. There's racism, sexism, homophobism, whatever, all the other isms. Autism, ableism, sexism, that list goes on and on. So we started thinking about these isms and what we wanted to do. So we have our own isms in our own community. So it's time that we tell our stories. Time for us to tell our stories. So we pulled in people. We had 5 different BIPOC artists in there and telling their stories about the isms, and that was just amazing. It was our first production, and it was extremely successful. It really was. And so now on this journey, this month, oh yes, I guess it is. Next week we'll be performing at Isms at Gallaudet. And in the fall, we're going to do another performance. We're going to call it Isms 2. And I'm so very excited about that. And so now VOCA, our mission is, we're going to provide space and platforms for deaf, hard of hearing BIPOC artists to really showcase their artwork. And we really want them to be able to present that, and we want to lift that up for them to be able to do that and to show their work. And so it's not just local, but I'm hoping it's going to be national. And it's a wonderful journey that we're on right now. And so now we just produced another show called Deaf BIPOC. Go ahead and speak up.
That's happening in the spring. And so again, the show will be A Raisin in the Sun. That was shut down during 2020, and now it's back.
So here we are. I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm going to show you a little bit of work of isms, which is what's going to be on the screen now.
You can't define who we are. Only we can define who we are. And guess what? We have stories to tell right now. I got a job in Boston as an interpreter, a deaf interpreter. Me.
nude in an evening gown, but heels and makeup, that's not me.
He came over and smacked me on the head, and I fell back onto the stage. I got up.
Fuck! I said, where were you yesterday? Where were you yesterday to question my son? Where were you?
Now remember, you only have one life to live. Never forget that. Okay?
All right, then. So that is it. That is ism. Let's see. So I want you to listen to what we have to offer, what we have to say, what we have to share about our work, who we are, where we come from, our culture, our language, our community. It's very important. It's crucial that we have this impact because we have people from different walks of lives, and to share that and spread that is so important. I wish I could be there in person to perform, but you already saw an example of some of my work as a director for ISM. So that ISM, that world is incorporated into us, and we have to take those labels off. We have to get rid of those isms and spread positivity about who we are inside. And there was beautiful work of those deaf and hard of hearing BIPOC artists in this. So I guess I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for letting us present our work. And I'm part of this beautiful community, this group of Black deaf artists here. I am so thankful.
All right, can we take her down off the screen? Thank you, Michelle, so much. Really honored to hear you speak about this. Next, we have Fred Beam. Fred is a dancer, director, choreographer. He also works at Galdas Dance Company and also National Dance Theater. He's also involved with several number of other dance companies. He's also involved heavily in the performing arts. He's traveled across the world to Africa, Australia, Egypt, England, France, Jamaica, Japan, Amsterdam, so many places we could list. He's choreographed for large productions, just such as Jesus Christ Superstar, as well at the Open Circle Theater in Washington, D.C. He's executive director for Invisible Hands, Inc., which promotes deaf awareness through performing arts, and was a founding member of the Wild Zappers. He also created a theater leadership program for deaf people of color at Gallaudet University, and also presented at Black Deaf Expo. Correction, he established a Black Deaf Expo. Was also a board member of Quest for Arts, Inc. at RIT. And there's a lot more we could say about this king that's in the house tonight. Come on up, Fred Beam. Hello.
So how do I do this, right? I just click a button and then, okay. There goes Fred Beam. That's the first time I've seen this. So anyway, I just want to tell everybody a round of applause, please. So, You probably learned that, right? Like maybe just recently, right? And we, the deaf community, already know this. Probably like for like over 200 years. It's time for a change. Yes. We are always creative with language and just like, you know, innovating things, right? And I'm in the creative part of the arts, so we're gonna change that narrative, right? So we know, oh, a round of applause, right? You know that saying, right? Right? So English, a round of applause, right? And you know, we hear it and we catch like a, and the deaf just like waves our hands. No, we're not monotone. We just wave, right? We have loud, right? We have rhythm. We have salt and pepper, spice, hot sauce, ketchup, you name it, right? All that flavoring to make our language diverse. So now we're gonna do what? I'm gonna show you how to do a round of applause in ASL. Hands up, come on. Everybody, hands up. And we're gonna wave in a circle. And then wave it louder and just add some rhythm to it. There we go. Now that's what I call spicing it up. Right? Round of applause. So from here on, that's what we're gonna do, all right? Let's break that 200 cycle tradition, okay? That's what black artists do. And we navigate to get to the top. All right? So some people may ask me, what do I do? I'm an artist. And I don't mean a performing artist, an artist, right? Painter, color, and that realm. That's my first love when I was small. Communication with parents was limited, right? I couldn't communicate with them, so I would often draw and draw and draw, right? My first drawing was a stick figure of a person, right? Circle, line, arms, legs, and then later I got better and better in my painting, my ability to draw. And as Antoine says, my accolades go on and on and on. We'll keep it short. I'm a performer, director, choreographer, and an educator. Period. I just want to let you guys know, there's just these 3 examples right here. So, black deaf, right? It's one word. I'm trying to tell people. Maybe they'll ask me, hey, you black? And I go, yeah. Oh, wait, are you deaf? Yeah. I mean, so wait, which one do you pick first? Black or deaf? Which one? That's a hard one right there. I can't just pick black because my language, right? I don't want the people to forget that. Oh, signing, let's put that to the side. And that's an oppression to me. And if I say, I'm deaf, then deaf people go, oh, I forgot you was black. We don't really match. You're not a representation. And I can't split myself in half. I am a whole person. So it is one word. Black deaf. Black deaf, as you see in this picture right here. I don't sign black, deaf. No, it's black and deaf. One word, simultaneous sign. Okay? And that's the end of that. That's pretty much sums it up in the whole. Now you know. So, just in case you didn't know, this was my painting. Just a little hint. It is for sale. And this is me, of course. As Antoine explained, a whole bunch of things. I started small. I always wanted to perform. I would watch TV. You know, American Bandstand. You know, that old San Francisco show where they were dancing and dancing. There was no caption at that time. It was, yes, pre-ADA child. That's who I am. There was no interpreter. There was no caption. I would just watch it. And often then I saw Michael Jackson. Oh man, he got on the stage and did these moves. Woo. Ah man, that's it. I want to be just like him. At 7 years old, I was determined. And my mom came and saw me dancing. My mother was like, "Oh, child, you deaf. Deaf people can't succeed in dancing and what you do." I looked at my mother. And I believed her until I went to college and they taught me, all about the performance arts, and that changed me, period. So I'll keep the story short. And right here, you see me as an educator. in Black Studies, I mean, a round of applause for the world, right? For Black Studies. I mean, for all over America is good. How many of you have Black Deaf history in there, right? In your studies? Probably, I'll tell you, none. Maybe 0.2% of your entire research and your entire study would only be that. And I want to be inclusive in that. Are we inclusive? Are we being inclusive when we do that? So that's something that we have to change. And I thank Berkeley University and all of its energy and research, and not to overlook people, and to become and to recognize all of us all over America. Thank you. Now this is an opportunity to shine. So this right here is just a little history, right? I know there's a lot of history that I can just give you, but this right here. Who's that? Yeah, of course, right? Just in case you didn't know, that was me 40 years ago, right? I look the same, right? Look at me. That's right, that's right. Look at me. I was the first Black deaf actor in Shakespeare play. And that play, the main character was Othello. The play name was Othello. In the history of that play, they never had a Black lead. And I was the first one. And guess what? The only for all the way until now. So it's time for change. The first Black deaf lead in Othello in Shakespeare, and the only one to have done so. So again, these are some of my accomplishments. First Black deaf play, I Didn't Hear That Color. First Black deaf actor to have a lead role in any Shakespeare play, Othello. First Black deaf with a black, hold on, sorry. With a full-on deaf cast. So it was a white writer, but we had a Black director, and we had an assistant choreographer. And like I said, Antoine named them all, right? I mean, we had I am the first Black deaf to choreograph for Equality Theater, was an artistic director for the Wild Zappers, National Deaf Dance Theater. And I set up several deaf BIPOC training, theater leadership training, and I just want to thank Antoine for that. I met him in my journey, so I established some leadership training in some of the theaters, and some of you guys are here, right? You guys are in this house, yep. And I have over 30 years of experience in entertainment. So, my current job right now, I work at the NTID Sunshine 2.0 Outreach Coordinator. That's right, yeah, it's class, no, it's not 2.0. My ASL teacher said 2.0, it's an upgrade, what? That's right, we got culture, we want to mix it up a little bit. So 2.0, got that swag, right? It got that more hip hop, right? Upgrade, yeah, hip hop 2.0. As if, like iPhone 1, iPhone 2, boom, 2.0, right? It's the culture, it's there. The swag is there. So why did I bring this? It's one of many, many, many works. Like I said, in the Sunshine 2.0, we do a lot of transliteration I'm a director of artistic sign language, but I want to expose the culture. I want to expose this to you guys. My view, no offense, right? I'm sick of America's anthem. Oh, say can. I'm like tired of it. Like, yeah, okay. I mean, you forgot we have a Black anthem, right? So I'm gonna bring that culture here, and I'm gonna bring it, right? This video won 3, or I want to say maybe 4 poetry awards from the Real Poetry from February. 4 categories it won. Okay, so I want to give you that opportunity of BIPOC work right here.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place on which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out of the gloomy past, till now we stand at last where the
So you see that, right? You see the sign. You see lift every voice. You see that song, right? What you interpreted learned in class. Lift every voice, right? That song. Yeah, let's put that to the side. And ASL is powerful. If we use the concept, right? This is how it will look like. So people get up, right? Right there, you lifting, right? And then you lift instead of your voice. We don't list every voice. We're deaf. We don't use our voice. We don't do that, right? As like Foxx said, we got the deaf accent problem, right? All right. So this is right. This is what we say in translation to that. So I want the BASL language. It's precious, and I want you to I'm giving you just little signs here and there, but I want you to know that it's very important. Like what you learned from interpreting class, maybe. But we have a word, right? It has a meaning, right? Word. But the sign for that is word, right? From the word. From the book, right? But what about culture with slang? Oh, there's an interpreter here. Oh, word. And the deaf community will probably say word like this, but it's still in that box. Oh, we black, we don't go by a box, right? Let's put that box to the side. We go word. I mean, we go outside the box. It's like, what's up? We don't go right here. We say, yo, what up? What's up? So our stage, we're kind of like stuck and limited, you know, white sign, white in the box, the colonial sign. We need to change that, right? We need to just switch it up. We need to change not only with our hands, but just with the whole signing community. And I just want to close this with my classic poem. I am a performer as well, right? Just in case you forgot. So let me perform this piece. When I think of grandma.
When I think of grandma, I remember a sweet smell cooking from a kitchen pot. Just roaming all over Kramer Street. Passengers passing by during a hot summer day. When I think of grandma, I remember her old caramel hand pinching my cheek. Her eyes looking just like mine, glittering as she glanced at the golden sunset. When I think of grandma, I remember how much she loved us, as if it doesn't mean a thing. How she was so much love and sherbet ice cream for everyone. I remember grandma calling me beautiful black child. Even before it was cool. Cool to be black. But who can beat that caring heart? But who can beat that caring heart pumping in her bosom? Blossom. Now, grandma gone to a place where the old folks live. They rejoice when they see Sister Carol. Now grandma walking everywhere. No more swollen ankle, knee, no more. She walked into eternity. Sometimes at night, when I was tossing and turning, grandma came to me in my dream telling me that everything will be all right. To my children who will never know my grandma, I'm telling you that thought of grandma that taught me summer and love. And most important lesson, love yourselves. No matter who you are, remember, you are who you are and made to be. No matter what the barrier is for you, I've been doing this for 30 years and people have been telling me no, especially my mom, but I've been traveling the world and she's always in awe. There's always a role for you. Sometimes there's not, but I made it my own. There are barriers, but I had to break them down to let me in. And the gates are now open, so come in. We have to do that ourselves. Thank you for your time. Let's give it up. Gotta splash some of that holy water. Now, you just finished hearing the unheard stories of Black deaf arts. There's so much that we can share, but so little time and not enough space. This is a rare, unique, and special space that we're able to share our stories with you. And if you want to learn more about them, please follow them on social media. You'll find so many Black deaf people there online. You maybe seen Ashlea on Law & Order. You've probably seen Foxx in LA comedy clubs. So I invite you to follow them on all of their platforms because their voice is a unique voice in this world and equally important. So please learn and listen to each other, not just with your ears, not just with your eyes, but also your hearts. So thank you so much for your attendance today. Thank you. And thank you all, panelists, interpreters, and artists as well. And also thank you, UC Berkeley.
Thank you, Antoine. Again, I want to thank all of our panelists today, Michelle Banks, Fred Beam, Harold Foxx, Brandy Mimms, Ashlea Hayes. Thank you all. Next week, April 19th, is our last event in the Black Studies Collaboratory Open University. Bryant Terry, our second artist fellow this year, will be presenting Sacred Larder. As always, every event, it's free, it's open to the public. There'll be a reception afterwards to celebrate this incredible series that our fellows have put together so beautifully. There'll be food, and it's Bryant Terry, so that's all I need to say about that. Thank you all again, and we'll see you next week.